What is up, guys? Jake from OneHive here with the video I've been promising you guys about the new SuperCell game, Brawl Stars. You're going to get to see it. No hype, no fluff, just true opinion of how I'm feeling about it. Again, we've been playing this game now for I think like 4 or 5 days, not even that long. So this is essentially a first impression video. It is in beta, so I mean, take all of this very lightly because things could change. They've said as much. Things will change. So I think a lot of these things that I talk about could and will be addressed. But you might be surprised on the verdict here. It's not something that I think most people would expect from me. But let's get into it. I'm going to do the good and the bad. I'm going to start with the good. People always say I'm griping about stuff, I'm complaining. I'm going to start with the good things about this game. And right on top of my list is it's fun. I mean, that might be the most surprising thing that people hear me say this whole video is that it's a fun game. You know, it's 3v3. If you've never played a MOBA, what a MOBA is a multi-player online battle arena. It's essentially you're playing the same map. Okay, you have a map that you start on opposite sides of, and you play the same map over and over. The matches are different because you have different heroes, and things just always go differently in a match. But you're always on the same area, so you get to know the map really well. And the different heroes obviously have different abilities, different strengths, weaknesses, all those things. And this is in that style. We'll address it a little bit later. This is not a MOBA. Don't get me wrong. This is not a MOBA. But it is in that style because it has a stagnant, repeating map, or in this case, it's got several because it's got multiple game modes. But several maps you can play. And it's just fun. It's something that you can sit down and enjoy, and there's no frustration to me, even though there should be. I don't know what it is, but it's something that maybe because I have a little bit of a background in this with Vainglory, it's just a fun game. It's just when you play it, you can have an enjoyable time, especially if you're playing with your friends. You can get on, we'll talk more about that later, but you can get on and play 3v3. You know, we get on voice communication, we laugh, even when we lose. I mean, we get a little frustrated, but for the most part, it's just fun. It's fast-paced. I mean, you can play a lot. There's no limitations on how many times you can play. There's no waiting. If you want to play, boom, you're in, play. You know, sometimes games take as little as 3 minutes. So you can sit down for 10, 15, 20 minutes and play a lot of matches against these other people and with your friends. So, you know, sometimes the tone will be like, hey, Jake, let's play a few matches. We'll sit down and bang out like 5 matches. Well, it's only like 20 minutes later. And we're like, okay, GG's, and we move on. So you can play a lot. To me, fast-paced is good for the most part. I do wish it had at least one game mode that lasted a bit longer, had a little more depth, a little more strategy involved. But for now, I am having fun with just the fast-paced nature of it. So that's a plus in my mind. It's competitive. I mean, that's the whole game is competition. It's 3v3. It's me and my friends versus you and your friends. And at its core, it's about decision making, positioning, strategy. That's what a MOBA is about. Again, I will repeat, this is not a MOBA, and I'll explain later, but at its core, it's a competitive game, and that is a bonus in my book. It is about my decision and my team strategy versus your decision making and your team strategy, and that is fun to me. A competitive person, that is enjoyable over and over again. I like to just, you know, even if people that have played like Vainglory in the past, you get that feeling. Even if you lose one, you're like, one more. Let's play one more. You know, someone's got to go. Someone's got to go to bed. Someone's got to go to work, whatever. And you lose, and you're like, no, one more. We can't. You know, that competitive drive is in this game, and so it's going to make you want to hit the button again. And that's a good thing. You know, a game that does that is fun to play. It's making you want to play it again. That's a bonus for sure. It's easy to play together. What I mean by that is it's simple. If I want to play with you, I simply give you a code. You can go straight into my room. We play together, the 3 of us. If I'm in a clan and I don't even know who's online, I can just hit the button. It advertises it right in the clan chat, or they call them bands in this game. Whatever, I'll call it a clan. Right in the clan chat, hey, I'm here. Who wants to play? 2 guys can jump in. Boom. Instantly, we're in a match with people that I know, that I can possibly jump on voice with Discord with if we have a Discord channel. All of those things, they've made it easy for us to enjoy this game together, and that is definitely a bonus in my book. The option is there to play alone. If you don't have anybody online, you don't have a clan or a band, or you just want to be on your own for once, it's easy to do that as well. The option is there. I think that you guys that are new to MOBAs are gonna are gonna learn that playing on your own is very frustrating. So what we call solo queue is just the worst thing in the world. I mean, that's nothing against Supercell. That's just the nature of the beast in any game like that. Going out on your own, there's no communication, there's no teamwork. A lot of times they're just really, really bad players. And you're going to, I think, find that playing with your friends is a lot more enjoyable. But again, that option is there. If you want to jump on, you don't have time to set a group up, you don't want to set a group up, just jump in and play a match by yourself. It's perfectly that easy. It's got big potential for, tournaments. I guess you could call it esports. I don't see this being a huge esport just because of the simplicity of it. But, tournaments and competitions that lead to grand finals and all those things, it's just right there. I mean, it's too simple. It's too easy to set the tournaments up and just match teams up against each other. I mean, it's all built into the game, essentially. They don't have, actual tournaments in the game, clearly. But, I mean, how hard is it to draw a bracket? Not hard at all. Set the teams up, hit the match, you can challenge each other, and boom, you're good to go. So I think that that's all there. You just got they've got to give us the ability to challenge other teams. I mean, which I'm sure is coming. A game like this, oh my goodness, how could it not be? But hopefully that is the future of this as far as competition is tournaments and things like that, and see who's sort of the best at this game, because that's what's entertaining. I think it's what people want to watch when they tune into a Twitch stream or something like that. They want to see really good players, some people they can learn from, things like that. The last thing I've got on the good side is it's simple. And what I mean by that is there's no abilities. I mean, you got one ability. It's your ultimate ability. Besides that, it's auto attacks. So you move around, you auto attack, you build up enough juice to use your ultimate, and that's that. So it's super simple. Anyone can pick it up. Anyone can play it. You guys from the old Vague Glory days might remember Be Like Braden. He jumped on voice with me and Atoma today, and in 5 minutes, he downloaded the game, got through the tutorial, and he was playing with us. And he was doing fine. So anyone can pick this up. It's simple enough that anyone can pick it up and play it and have a good time with it. So I think that is going to appeal to a lot of people, especially the younger audience, the guys that want that simplistic, instant gratification, that 5-minute experience. These don't even last 5 minutes, but that 5-minute experience to sort of satisfy them. I think they're going to really enjoy it. Now, you've just heard me say a lot of good things about this game. It's time for the bad, because trust me when I tell you, there is a lot of things about this game that I don't like, and we're going to go over them now. But I wanted you guys to understand that, one of the most important things is it's fun. That's why we play games, and that was the first on my list, is that the game is fun. So I am having fun with it, and I am playing it. That's the true test. It's not like Clash Royale where I put it down and said I'm not having fun with this and walk away from it. That's not been the case so far. But let's get started. The first thing I've got on my list for bad is it's simple. And you're going to say, hey, wait a minute, Jake, you just said that on the good side. Yeah, it's good and bad. Simple is good because it appeals to a lot of people. Simple is also bad because without any real depth, it could get old very soon. I'm talking maybe weeks. You could be like, this is boring now. I've played this. The newness is wore off, and there's no depth to it. There's no strategy beyond just trying to stay in a good position and spam your auto attacks in the right direction. So I think that simple goes both ways here, and unless they sort of try to develop something into this game, I don't know how long it'll live on. You know what I mean? You've got to have something. That's why Clash of Clans is still here, because the depth is there. The strategy just is so good and deep that there's no way to back away from it. You just get continually drawn back into it because there's nothing else out there like it. This game is lacking that. It is simple, and it stays simple from what I've seen so far. Number 2, and this is a big one for me, it's still pay to win, which means it's not a MOBA. You cannot have a MOBA where you can pay money and get an in-game advantage. And that's exactly what this game has. You can unlock boxes, you get elixir, and you can upgrade your heroes, which makes them attack stronger, have more health, their ultimate be better, or I don't even know how it works. But anyways, the bottom line is they killed the MOBA thing when they put that in the game. It's not an option. You can't do it. No true, in my mind, true, serious, competitive esports type players are going to be interested in it, because no one's going to do a pay-to-win environment. They also did it the right way. They've got some what we call skins. You can make your heroes look different for gems. That's how most MOBAs work. You just get pretty things for your money, and people do pay it. They obviously make money off of that. I mean, a lot of MOBAs out there are doing it and successful. But this one, they went just a step too far, and they put it to where you get an in-game advantage, and it could potentially kill the game. Now, while we're talking about bad things, I will say this. Right now, I haven't seen it be so far that you just can't compete. Like, so if someone jumps up their heroes, I see their health. I know that they've got more health than I do. I know that they're doing more damage than I am. I can still potentially outplay them, but all things being equal, he's just as good as I am. I'm just as good as he is. He's going to win. That's not good. That's a bad thing. A very, very, very bad thing for a MOBA type game. So I want that to make that very clear. Number three on my bad list is the controls are terrible. And when I say that, I mean, to me, Atoma says he doesn't mind them much. Like, I think they're really bad. You've got two options, so I think that's a good thing. You can tap to control your hero, or you can use a virtual joystick and just sort of move your finger in the direction you want your hero to go. I think both are really bad. I use the joystick. I think it's a little bit better, especially for kiting and backtracking while you're firing forward. If you don't know what that is, that's what that is. But it's bad. And sometimes you'll just lose control of your hero in the middle of a match, and that's very frustrating. So that's really high on my list too. Some people it might not bother. To me, this is just my opinion, my honest opinion, guys. I think when you pick it up, you're gonna be like, man, this is really difficult for me to control and fire, control my hero, make him go where I want him to, and be attacking the enemy at the same time. I think you're going to find that. The next thing is there is very little balance among heroes. There are super, super strong heroes that are completely broken, way overpowered, and obviously they're the ones that are harder to get. And yeah, you can spend some money and you can pick them up pretty quickly, or you can sort of just wait and not have them be a disadvantage. Another thing that I think is a little bit pay to win. The hero balancing needs to be addressed, and I mean almost across the board. I'm not sure that they totally understand it. You can't have let's say for instance, a hero with a lot of range, which means they can attack super far across the map and do a lot of damage and have area of effect. So in most MOBA games, if you're going to do a lot of damage, it's what we call a skill shot, which means you have to hit it just right to make contact with the enemy. And then yes, you're rewarded for that skill shot by a lot of damage. Well, in this game, you have heroes like the ones we call Hot Sauce. I'm not even sure what he is, what his actual name is, because I don't have him yet. But he can just throw down these jars of what looks like hot sauce. They spill all over the map. It's an area of effect. It does massive damage, and he can do it from a very long distance. So there's no skill involved. It's just spamming these attacks over walls, over obstacles, and putting it on the map and hurting the enemy team. That's not balanced. That's not balanced at all. There's a hero that can just dart across the map, do massive damage. He's got a lot of hit points. I call him the Grave Digger because that's what he does. He just digs graves, but that's not his name either. But there's no balance to these heroes. They have to understand that when you get something like massive damage, you have to give up something like area of effect or range or things like that. So again, this is in beta, so maybe they will balance these things out, but there is very little, in my mind, of a true balance in this game as far as hero shooting, which is another big one for a quote-unquote MOBA. This is not a MOBA, but for a MOBA-style game, that's a big, big thing. That's what these games strive for continually. They come out with weekly, if not bi-weekly updates that are trying to continually balance and rebalance and get the heroes just right. So hopefully SuperCell understands that, and they will do it. Hero selection and multiple heroes in the same match. Now, what I mean by that is if you queue up and you're in a group, you can't play the same hero, but if the three people are playing solo queue, they can all three play the same hero. So if there's an overpowered hero, guess what? You can go up against three of the same overpowered hero. That's not fun. That takes away from that number one thing that I said at the very start of this video. That's not fun. Nobody wants to do that. They need something along the lines where you get queued into a party, and it's like, okay, here's your party. I would love to see, like Vainglorious got, which you can actually ban some heroes that you don't want to play against, and then people take turns picking. Even if they don't do the bans, you need to be able to take turns picking, and you don't need duplicate heroes. Duplicate heroes in a match are not fun. That doesn't show counter picking and trying to, outpick. The strategy, in my mind, should start at hero selection. So if one hero picks up a really tanky hero, well, then maybe I want to pick a really strong ranged hero to keep him at distance and not let him get to me and take me out. So again, I think the strategy in these type of games needs to start at the hero selection level. In this game, it clearly does not. I think that's something that if they want true competition at a very, very high level, a competitive esports type level, you've got to do. You got to have it. You can't have a bunch of people running around the same heroes. It's not fun for anybody. And let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. I got one more. I personally dislike that it's in portrait mode. We'll see if I do more videos on this. I might have to try to figure out an overlay for the screen. I'm sorry, it just is what it is. But this thing is in portrait mode. I think it would have been multiple times better. Even the controls, I think, would have been better if they had done it in landscape mode, because when you're trying to move around a hero and target things and shoot, usually you're moving left to right and you're trying to shoot away. So giving yourself the bigger screen left and right would have made much more sense. I mean, we play Clash on landscape, we play Vainglory on landscape, we play all these games on landscape. I know Clash Royale is portrait, but it's a totally different type of game. A game like this just lends itself to the landscape. I'd have no idea why they went portrait mode on this. It really frustrates me, but that's on the bottom of my list for a reason, because it's not the end of the world. I mean, it is what it is, just something I don't like. But that's it, guys. That's the good and bad. Now, the summary of this is pretty simple. Right now, the good's outweighing the bad for me. I am playing this game. Me and Atoma and ASAP and Mateo and Jake the Rake, a lot of these guys, we're playing this game on a regular basis, almost daily. So we are having fun with it, obviously. We wouldn't be doing it if we didn't enjoy it. So there's the cap, guys. There's the recap. There's the honest opinion, the good, the bad, everything in between. I hope you guys are going to at least try it. You do have to make a Canadian iTunes account or just switch your region to Canada. It's not that big a deal if you want to try while it's in beta. Probably not super long until it comes out globally, especially if it has a lot of success. They'll want to get it out there. A couple months, maybe, something like that. But there it is. Hope you liked the video. Let me know what you think in the comments of the game if you've tried it. If not, let me know why you don't want to try it. Until next time, guys, Jake from OneHive doing my best to help you guys suck less.